Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand why it is important for us to practice like this. Because once you put the value on your own practice, you are capable to develop it. As ordinary people, we always follow the value. So when it comes to our human life, we always look for the purpose. When we look for the purpose, most of time we start with ideas. People start to follow certain kind of ideas, and that ideas become goals. And so the goal, once you have the goals, that you have to have a will to go behind the desire, and then it becomes your journey. But when it comes to the very reality, if you look very carefully, the very purpose of life is not just an idea. It's just not achieving to something. It is just experience. So the moment of experience is the very purpose of life. And when it comes to a certain continuation with the intention, it gives kind of like a fulfillment. That is where we mostly addicted, and that is where we mostly develop a current which we call as habit. Otherwise, when it comes to the life and death, so how you can recognize that you are died? Physically, there are many ways, but when it comes to our life, it's a very experience. When you get out of all the experience, it's kind of like a way that you are dead. And even in day-to-day life, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with this perception, if you can't reach to certain experience, you start to feel disappointment. So underneath our skin, we always develop this experience. That is what you have to be very careful. Because on the surface level, becoming nice and act like good people, act like nice people is good. But when it comes to yourself, what's the point? That you go out in front of other people, you act like a very nice person, and everybody maybe appreciate you. But when you come back, end of the day, you have to deal with your own true nature. So when it comes to that, as human beings, we have a dark side. So through meditation, rather than going with this, the pace value or the surface level, it allows you to enter to this dark side and understand the dark side of the character. Because that is where you can become a better person. That is where your transformation happens. If you don't see your dark side, you trap on this, so your good side, and you maintain it, and you become so happy with it. And by the time, what will happen? Underneath your skin, this dark side will start to grow. As a result of that, end of the day, end of the life, you may get more disappointed. But in the outside world, you are so nice person. So how you can enter to this dark side? What is the method to access to it? Because covering it, hiding it, and resisting, you can't. So then you have to build up an ability to see your inside. And when you start to see the inside you, what happens? That your own, the white character, the good character, the nice things start to develop a certain kind of current and start to pull you back. And then you always look for the comfort, and you always look for the satisfaction. So as example, just imagine, I give a physical example to understand this. When you sit, so you feel you are so comfortable. So that is your face value, that is your surface level good character. You feel comfortable and you enjoy it. You feel so relaxed, peaceful, and you appreciate that. And then maybe after 5 minutes, what happens? You start to feel the pain, which you don't like. So once the pain starts to come, you hate it. You start to struggle. You start to resist. Underneath that resistant struggle, hate, you always look for, you try to protect that the comfort that you felt. So then what happened? As soon as possible, you find a way to escape from the pain and come back to your comfort. That is what made the change, the movements we develop. So when it comes to the character, what happens? You will never conquer that. You never go beyond that pain, and always you find a place to settle down. Always you find a place to escape from it. So the meditation is a method. Allow you to go into that. And when you go into that, in the very first level, remember, don't caught up on your comfort zone. That's mean that the comfort physically or the mentally. So whatever is there, don't categorize. Because the very nature of our mind, behavior with our brain, it's always try to develop a kind of like a way with the self-centered idea. So the self-centered idea, you grab with this body as me. Oh, this me, I feel this like that way. So get out of it. That is the important when it comes to your posture, when you sit. If you are capable to cross your legs or the chair or the anyway, that somehow the meditation posture means you get out of your self-centered identity. And once you get out of the self-centered identity, that whatever physically that what you feel, you don't take it as, oh, this is me, I feel like this way. And one is the self-centered, and another one is that the resistance that you develop, it's another way we call the self-controlling. There's no self to control, but on a practice point of view, we bring that what's the wrong thing that we does, we're struggling with ourselves. You're struggling with yourself. There is no transformation going to happen. You develop only the struggle. So once you understand it, so whatever it is there, let it be. That is the key point from the beginning, that you have to start, you have to develop. Let it be. And while let it be, can you see it without categorizing, without holding, without resisting? Can you see it? And without putting any kind of opinion. So, because this self-opinion is the major part of the self-centered, that the character and the self-control. Why you go into self-control? Why you go into self-centered? Because behind you have self-opinion. So maintaining self-opinions not the way to practice meditation. Our purpose is get out of this self-opinion. But most of the time, what the mistake we does once we come to the sitting, we always hold it to self-opinions, and we maintain our self-opinions. There are things deeper in you, yourself, you have a conversation, and then you come to the solutions, and you build up the ideas, and you build up thoughts yourself and theories yourself, and you build up the path yourself and telling it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this. From where this comes? There are few things that when it comes to the neuroscience, the underneath DNA, just imagine that the brain, the underneath, the bottom level DNA, it comes from your previous lives and in the mother's womb and from parents. And the second part, after you born, it's the born mean once you settle down in the mother's womb, from the very that day, you get the environment. Listen this very carefully and try to understand that the very mechanism happening in you. So you start to adapt to the environment from the mother's womb. And then after 9.5 months, you come to this world and environment, and you see the sun, the moon, the light, and the air. And so you start to adapt. So out of that, what happens? Now you have DNA, and out of that environment influence, you develop the emotions. So your DNA is the very key point. That's mean another way that your consciousness carries certain kind of patterns, the methods. So it is the energy. So the energy cannot survive without moving. to move, you need the help from the environment. So once you get out of the mother's womb, then you start to move your energy, and then so the energy start to in motion according to the environment, it become your emotions. So that is the second layer. And on the top of that, every day that you develop ability to see, hear, develop a very conventional life. That's ability to read, ability to write, ability to learn. So this kind of skills on the top of that. But each and every layer, certain way, develop its own method and the mechanism. But still, if you are capable to slow down your thinking pattern, what happens? This everything start to interconnect and wiring and firing and develop a communication within yourself. Then there is no separation. But if you caught up on the thinking patterns, because the thinking mind itself is a disease. That is the biggest disease we have, thinking mind. See that things come to our mind and we don't know from where come, and we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know where it's going to take us. So like that. But if you will become very careful, what happens, you start to recognize this thinking mind, and then you slow down rather than go with it. You start to, your awareness, consciousness, start to see thoughts. And once you have the ability to see the thoughts, you are capable to bring the connection between your memory or the DNA or with the emotions or the energy flow and all the very moment of the perception and the reactions. So once you develop that connection, so inside you more and more and more, you are capable to see your own thoughts. And once you see your own thoughts, you start to recognize that own thoughts has an influence from the environment. That is the key point you have to catch, because most of time, 90% like that, our day-to-day activities, we grab from this world. So you grab it from somewhere and then you carry it. It unconsciously happens. And so that whoever you associate and whatever even the material things that you keep around and whatever the music you listening, that everything feeding to that deeper dependency, that dependent character that you develop from the environment. And your thoughts level depending from that, and then you go with it. So the meditation help you to slowly little bit back up and see it. So if I give some examples, it's like this, that if you are a driver, if you know how to drive, and one day you into passenger seat, and then now another person driving. So now you know what happening sometimes by the time. If you want, if the other person brake, and then your legs also start to work. See, it's unconscious. But what is the link? Environment has a power to ignite. And so as example, you watching a sport game, like a basketball game. And maybe somebody try to throw the ball. And what happened? Your hand also go with. And sometimes you watching a movie. And whatever happening there, even though you're sitting, when this very solid, unmovable chair, your whole body start to react according to that, what you see. With that scene, you synchronize. So it is just not only from that moment that you gain that, because you had the ability, you had the habit, you already have brought a certain memory with you. That's why that memory unconsciously react. So this is, it is in your dark side, and sometimes we don't see. So as example, now you are a passenger, but the dark side means, the character means, behind the passenger, you used to be a driver. So now you are in the passenger seat, and rather than enjoy the landscape, see that now you try to react as a driver. This is what happens. Just imagine through the samsaric journey that whatever the, the characters that we went through, memory we went through, unconsciously sometimes we get influenced by this outside world and we just keep reacting. While you're reacting, what happens? Deeper, that your experience become neutral. Why? Because you kind of like enter into certain kind of comfort zone. So when you are in the repetition, remember, consciously, you are not experiencing it. That means in a certain way, you are, before you die, you dead. Don't be like that. We all die. When the death comes, as we know, no one can escape from that. There's nothing wrong with the death if you are capable to, die only one time. It's going to become so beautiful. But the thing is, why most of time we are afraid for the dead? Because every day we already die. That's why we think we are living, but we already dead. So that's why there's, when the real death come, we get panic. So remember, when you are experiencing the life, if you develop the continuation to experience the life, every moment is a new moment. And even when the death also comes, it's going to become completely new moment, new experience. And when you are in the moment, when you are experiencing something in that very moment, what happens? There is no two characters in you. So then how you can transform this, the dark side to the light? So in the very beginning, that you have to understand, we all have this dark side. Remember, until you attain to the enlightenment, you will be with this dark side. But sometimes, we are, as human beings, we all believe our own lies as truth. That is a kind of like a big problem. Forget about meditation. We know what are the lies that we carry ourselves, but still we are the one who giving validation and believing it as truth. So then how you going to find the liberation? So same like that, our dark side of the character, we keep it as a kind of like a light, believing that darkness as our light. That's where we keep going like this. So then what you need to do? Rather than sitting on the comfort zone, rather than holding to, oh, I am this kind of like a self-opinion, just see. That is the key point. Just start to see. When it comes to that, because once you don't have the self-opinion, you're not bringing your judgmental mind. When you don't judge, good or bad, or kind of like you just start to see things as it is. That is the power of tranquility meditation. So once you develop that, you will see what is the dark side exactly as the dark side. So that is where you can transform it to good. So because remember that whatever you have in you, you can't escape. But you have to find a way to transform it. So as example, anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, those are the building blocks in our life. That's why we have this life. So when you start to look into yourself, don't try to justify that you're all the dark side as a light when it comes to out. As example, you get mad. Accept it. You see it. Oh, I have this madness. I got mad. I was angry. And then now you know that you have this dark side. There was a jealousy. And look into that. Don't try to justify and bring it as a compassion. See it. So when you don't have the self-opinion, you can do that. So now you see it, you know, oh, I have jealousy. Oh, I have envy. I have this lust in me. So once you recognize it, what happens? You get the ability to bring it whenever you want. So then you can't keep that things there like that way. So bring that consciously, transform it to the good. So as example, you get angry. When it comes to that, our very conventional life, this very conventional life is very physical. You need certain strength. So that you can use the anger to develop the strength towards do something good. So it is not you hold as anger and you keep it there and you allow it to there to be like that. And so you're hungry, you don't have anything, you are poor, and you can do a lot of things out of that poverty. You can go and stealing and watching on the curbside and hate people, and you can go and beg, and you go and grab something from other person without any permission. It can take you to any direction. But at the same time, just imagine, if you are really focused and getting to the core level of the hunger that you feel, what happened in that dark side, you see there is a reason with you. That is the key point. Because if you try to justify that dark side from the outside world, you will never going to get out of it. Now you see dark side as your hunger, and you start to see it. Why I am hungry? Then you start to see maybe there is a laziness in you. Maybe there is a ignorance in you. Maybe there is some kind of misbehavior in you. Once you recognize that mistake itself, that hunger itself, that laziness itself will bring the ability for you to get out of it. See, you not resist it. You not hold it. You don't put yourself opinion on it and telling this is bad, or you saw the reason. So like that, our sansaric journey means this whole dark energy that we collected through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, we just grab, and we just build up inside us. And then we maintain it. So the meditation is a method. Now we come to the point to purify it, clear it. So once you have that clarity in you, you are capable to transform. So whatever the dark side you see, remember, there is some reason behind you. So if you are in the beginning, you have to see it as the dark side, dark character. So once you see it, you can see the reason behind it. Why? Because you develop the ability to see. So that is the tranquility meditation. And once you see it, see the reason behind it and work with it, is bring the ability with the vipassana meditation. So that it's a core level. You have to thoroughly, deeply investigate and work with it. So that transformation is not easy in the beginning. Just imagine that you recognize you are lazy. You know, you have the hunger and you see this hunger because of my laziness. It doesn't mean that the very next day you're going to become very strong, very active person. No, but moment by moment, you are capable to bring that. So just imagine, I give one example for that. So as you know, once the Prince Siddhartha left the palace, he had a very luxurious life there. And then 6 years, he went through all the very difficult ascetic practice. But still, before he attained to the enlightenment, that day when you sit, he determined himself. So even I die without attaining to the Buddhahood, I'm not going to get out of this seat. You know why he came to like that? Maybe he saw something in him. Otherwise, why he determined him? Because he saw something that hold behind him. So like that, remember that whatever the failures come to you, or whatever you maintain as a habit, or you go with the emotions in you, even though we see this outside reason, there are some reasons inside. Until you see that, you will never get out of it. So the strength that you develop, it should come from inside, knowingly, and with the understanding your own inside dark behavior, not with these outside goals and achievement or kind of like that. Because once you refine yourself inside you, develop inside you, then this outside thing's going to be okay. Because outside world, it's always, each and every person, each and every mind, each and every place, always different. It's not going to be the same. But ourselves, if we build, we keep the same kind of maintaining, that the same kind of character maintain wherever we go. Even we go to a new place with the new people, new environment, new office, new country, we going to be the same. So that's why. But once you start to change that dark side of you, so the meditation is a method, take you into that and understand the very reasons why this dark side in you. So once you see it, you know what to do. So that is the transformation. If you see the anger, then you are capable to develop the compassion. If you see the jealousy, you are capable to develop the generosity. You know that knowingly, that you see something in that very moment, you know that maybe you can be nice, you can smile with the hiding that jealousy, but now you know, oh, jealousy is there. And with that knowingly, maybe you become more generous. So that generosity is not just the face value that you put as, oh, you are so generous. No, it came deeper with the change, because you were so greedy. But knowingly yourself that you transform yourself. So how about that when it comes to anger? You are so angry, mad, and you see, you can tell all the bad words and, harsh word, and you can smile in a very bad way, you can hold a very bad mood, but still, know yourself. It is nothing to do with the other person. You don't have any intention to make other person feel good. But you now focus to your inner behavior, your dark side. You want to bring the light to yourself. So knowingly that when you get mad, angry, what happens? You transform it yourself to be more compassionate. So when you develop that moment by moment, what happens? You have the ability to go into other person. So once you have that, that is the highest of your transformation, because anymore you don't have a personality, self-centered mind, self-opinion. You have ability to go into other person. So it's like when the river come from any direction, and once it go to the ocean, it synchronized with the ocean anymore. You can't find from which direction it came. So like that, when you with the people, another way we call the harmony, harness. So once you with the people or the things or the each and every day, your transformation happens and you have ability to go into others. So then there is no separation. So this is a very spiritual, the highest level of spiritual level that the people used to have, our ancestors. And I tell you that how it's in the very material world, in this marketing world, how they use that. Just imagine, they make some beautiful material thing to sell, and it is there, so just imagine, this is, sitting somewhere, it can't talk. It can't, ask you, hey, take me, buy this, so like that. But the person who built this had the ability to make it more clear and nice and beautiful, and that intention had the ability to put that all the intention to here, keep it here, to enter to your mind. So then you go to buy a singing bowl and you go here and there, and then when you see this, oh, I want that. So what does that mean? This enter to you, and then you bring it. So like that, this is the certain things that when you see something, you say, oh, I like it. You have the desire, and at the same time, what's happening? It also come into you. It not happen automatically. No? So that's why once you have the ability 100%, not other things come. Once you have 100% ability to go into others, that in itself your transformation happens. So this is the mechanism that we develop through the meditation. So in the very first level, what you need to do, your mind always here and there, so bring it to one place. So for that, we need a primary mental object, because our very conventional mind depends on object. So we give a one object. So that is our inhalation, exhalation. And then develop that collective awareness. That means the awareness is already in you, but it is everywhere. Now you bring it to one place in front of your nose and upper lip area and observe it, see it, and allow it to happen itself without putting your self-opinion. Remember that. So remember that how it our self-opinion hold our all the self-identity and that everything. So that's why now here you observe with your own inhalation, exhalation. You don't put any self-opinion. You don't going to categorize it. You see inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. So by the time, little by little, get more details that whatever that inhalation or exhalation, maybe it can be longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, left, right, so like that. So go with it. When you are capable to go with little by little, by the time you recognize your body, your mind, your breathing, this all interconnected. So it's same like, remember that in the DNA level and the emotional level, and then on the surface level, this collective information level, that the behavior, once you caught up on thoughts, it always separate and you don't see the connection. But now what happened, you are not with the self-opinion or the thoughts, and you recognize the body, mind, the breathing, that all interconnected. So that is where your tranquility state arises. So once you come to the tranquility state, you are capable to see your own thoughts. So that is where you see your thoughts and your awareness difference. So then you don't put much value on your thoughts. So when the thoughts arise, you become more aware. So that means that thoughts bring the quality of your character, the dark side. Now you are capable to see your own dark side without any disturb. We call it undisturbed mind. So once you are capable to see that, you're not responding to it. You not put validation on it. You don't take that darkness as your light. You recognize it. And once you are capable to see that, what happens? You are capable to see the reasons behind that darkness. So now you know, oh, why this jealousy come? Maybe your laziness. Now you know how to transform it. So this is the mechanism. Once you have that ability to, before it come as a bodily, verbally, or mentally action to outside, you see it inside, you transform it inside, and then you, with the very conscious mind, you bring it to the outside world, and according to necessary cause and conditions in that environment, you apply it. So then your actions go into it without making any resistance. That where you develop the harness. Just imagine you make your bodily, verbally, mentally action like that for a 1 minute. Any environment you go, it's a one-way journey. No any resistance or the feedback. Your action's not going to bounce back. Why? Because it has ability to go into it. How about you increase for a 5 minutes? How about that awareness you carry for 10 minutes? How about that consciousness, that awareness you carry for 1 hour? There is no collective memory. There is nothing to collect or the hold. When there is nothing to collect, there is nothing to let go in that time period. So that is your transformation. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body, please, and observe head to toes yourself. And say, Suapatveva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart, forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha amnehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.